All right, we are back in LA. Happy New Year to all of you. This is episode 2 of the Deep Ditching podcast. I cannot wait to talk to my guest today. He is a globally recognized hairstylist based in the Beverly Hills, California. I met this gentleman back in 2017, and I go to him to get my haircut every time I come out here, and it is always quite the experience. I'm excited, so excited for all of you because you are going to learn so much from him today, and you will be better for it, I promise you. He is the one, the only, Giuseppe Franco, joining us today on episode 2 of the Deep Ditching podcast. My guy, Giuseppe. First of all, let me tell you, when I was here in November, got my hair cut, and I was telling you about the podcast I was shooting.
Correct.
You told me, you offered to be here.
Sure.
And that is why I have so much appreciation for you being here today.
For friends.
I love you for it, man. I love you for it. The haircut's looking good. Got the haircut yesterday. It's looking great. I'm ready to go. I look like $1 million. So one thing I want to point out real quick, when I was at your salon yesterday.
Correct.
I observe, I watch everything. And I know you're a stickler for details. And I saw you just kind of, it's just the smallest thing, but you just went and adjusted a chair to make sure it was in the right place.
I didn't notice it, but that definitely sounds like me.
I noticed it.
You did?
I noticed those things, absolutely. Yeah, so kind of talk about why that attention to detail, before we really dive in. Why is that attention to detail so important?
In any part of life in general, not just a job or your business, is the most important part of doing things. Some people like to sweep their hair under the rug. You know, nobody's going to see it.
Yeah.
I'm the complete opposite. I tell the assistants, go lift the rug up and do it right. Because, see, the training of anything with details is anybody can cut. I can teach you how to cut hair, but it's the detail work that's going to separate you from, and there's not many people. I hate it, but I also love it because God gave me this eye so I can see from the corner of my eye that something is off.
Yeah.
And I won't sleep that night unless I fix it right away.
That's something I can tell. Even when you're cutting my hair, you're directing people. You're kind of noticing. You're multitasking. You're noticing things happening.
In life, Tommy, there's going to be leaders and there's going to be followers. Period. I don't know what the fuck's supposed to be in between. It's either you're going to, lead or you're going to follow it.
Right.
God gave me a gift where, with good training for hair and leadership. I mean, I didn't know everything in business. You just, as you go along, but you try to do the right thing, and routine is very important, at least for me.
I'm glad because I have that to talk about. So talk about your routines. Talk about why that's so important. Talk about kind of a day in the life of Giuseppe Franco, your work day.
I'm sorry, I didn't shut off my phone.
That's okay. No problem.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Always working.
It's
always
probably
working.
My daughter.
And we'll talk about his daughter. His daughter's got a lot going on. We'll talk about her later on, too.
Okay, so sorry about that.
You're good.
Routine. Speaking of routine, the wife, she calls me anal because I'm such a routine type of guy. I go to bed at the same time. I wake up at the same time. I drive the same road at the same time. I mean, for me, it works mentally, a routine. But I do it 7 days a week,
Yeah.
I'm not one of those that, let's go with the flow. That's bullshit for me. I need to know. I'm a control freak. Mm-hmm. I need to know, where we're going to dinner. I don't care what time, but no, let's go with the flow. We'll find something as we drive. No, you're going to be driving for 2 hours. How's that look? No good. How's that? No, I don't want that. You're wasting time. So I like to know things. But routine is important for everybody, anybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you wake up and you have to feed your kid and then make a school lunch for them, that's a routine, whether you realize it or not.
Right.
Some people hate routines. I already got the routine. My clothes are prepared the night before. The vitamins are prepared the night before. The coffee's on a timer to percolate early in the morning. Just everything is set for me.
So how does your day start? So when you're on your work day, how does your day start?
Well, I'm up at 4 a.m.
Okay.
Like clockwork. There is no alarm clock. I used to look at the stupid cable box and I go, oh, shit. It's 3:58, 3:59. It's always around that time. Then the mind starts going. So there's no way I can lay in bed and let me just another half an hour. There is no snoozing. Then I use my Post-it. I start making notes. Shit, today there's payroll. And then I got, the plumbers coming in at 2 o'clock, And then I do my prayers. I take my vitamins, my orange juice, coffee. I'm outside. I'm unlocking the salon door pretty much at about 5:43 a.m. But I also take early clients. I take 6:30 a.m. clients. Most of them are men, professionals, lawyers, people I don't like people. They just want to come in. They don't even talk. They're pre-washed. They get a haircut and they leave. Yeah, which is fine.
So
it's the calm before the storm. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So kind of going back to, it sounds like you have your days planned. As you know, my day job, I'm a school teacher back home in Houston.
I'm very impressed.
And thank you. And I just preached to my kids, kind of the older kids recently, about, kind of having a plan the night before of what you want to do. Because a lot of the kids, they don't know what they're going to do. That's where we have a lot of problems. I think that's why people run into problems. They don't have any structure for their day. They don't know what they're going to do, what they want to accomplish. So that's what I try to impart on the kids.
That's smart.
The importance of having a plan, knowing the night before, what am I going to do to get better today? What am I going to accomplish? And I think that's where a lot of people fall apart when they don't have that.
How old are the students?
Oh, I got kindergarten through 5th, but it's more like kind of the older kids that are going to get that.
Right.
The younger ones won't. But that's why I'm glad you said that, that you kind of have your day planned out and what you want to do.
I think that's Catholic school upbringing. And of course, the nuns, my mother and father, we didn't speak English in the house. We spoke only Italian because nobody knew how to speak English. Only my older brother. My mother and father came, and my older brother, they took the boat over from Italy. It just happens to be that I have a twin sister. My twin sister and I were in my mommy's tummy. She was pregnant. As soon as we docked in New York, we were born. Born in New York City, raised in New Jersey.
Okay. So you weren't born in Italy, though?
No.
And your family came from Calabria?
Correct. Nobody spoke Italian.
Ah, okay.
I mean, English. So I learned English in Catholic school.
Okay. So talk about, I'm sure you probably heard stories from your parents. What was the move like for them from Italy coming here? Because I know back then, my grandparents were immigrants.
Sure.
And I know it wasn't easy for them.
I would imagine, Tommy, a way of life.
Yeah.
I think in the early days, one of my uncles who I met, but as I got older, moved to Australia. So there's a lot of Australians and and some of them probably landed up in Chicago. And the thing is, I don't even know how we got to New Jersey.
Right.
But I enjoy. Look, I had a great childhood, great family. I mean, it didn't matter that we only spoke Italian at the dinner table every single night. The thing is, we ate together, and by all means, my father didn't have a special craft. He was a shoemaker.
Right, exactly.
Fixed shoes. And my mother was a seamstress. She would sew those little beads on wedding dresses. And every wedding dress had about 52 million beads on it.
Yeah.
So at about 7 years old, I learned how to sew, and I would help her with the beads. And I also learned how to shine shoes from my dad. But the thing is, I learned how to sew, help my mom. So we didn't grow up with any money, but it was a happy household.
Right.
Meaning we ate. I'm not going to say, look, I walked around with one fucking shoe on. But it wasn't, where people go very comfortable. We ate and we did, they did what they had to do.
It was all basically manual labor.
Always.
Back then, all
Always.
manual labor.
There was no corporate world. I mean, at least that I didn't know of.
So a young Giuseppe Franco, how did you start your where did you get your passion for cutting hair? How did that all start?
Giuseppe means Joseph in English. So growing up in the streets of New Jersey, Tommy would be Tomasino.
Right.
Giuseppe's Joey. Paulie is Paolino. Tony's Antonio. But nobody wanted to be called by those names, You're playing stickball with your friends, so everybody went with their nicknames. And there was so many Joeys, so people would say, which Joey? Joey Clams, because he likes clams. There's always a nickname.
That's such a movie
Which
character
Tommy?
name.
Tommy Rigatoni. And it stuck with you. But it was just enjoyable growing up, eating at the dinner table. And my brother was the breadwinner because my father was a shoemaker, and he owned 3 or 4 used car lots with financing
Okay.
for the cars.
Yeah.
I was in charge of washing the cars, but I can also take a car off the lot for the weekend, which is what I did. Put the 8-track of Frankie Valley in and drive down to Jersey Shore. But this is before Jersey Shore was in,
Right.
of course.
Right.
I happened to be dating a girl. She asked me to drive her to New York City from New Jersey. She had to go and enroll in beauty school in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was on 37th Street and 5th Avenue. And I parked on a side. There was parking lots, but it was only like $8 at that time as opposed to $600 now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, for the day.
Yeah.
Because I knew she was going to be there. Well, it was only like maybe 28 feet from the school. We go upstairs. And as she's filling out the application, there was no computers then. There was no cell phones.
Right.
Nothing. Yeah, I'm just looking and magazine, and some big guy walks out. I'll never forget it. And we became friends later on. With a pinky ring, hair greased back, tie clip, real good looking. He goes, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Joey, Giuseppe. I'm just waiting for my girlfriend right there." He goes, "You go to the school?" I go, "Oh, no. He goes, "Look, my name is Mr. Rocco. I own the school. You should be in the school. You're a good-looking kid. Look." I said, no, I'm good. In the meantime, he didn't know that I did my own hair since maybe 8th grade. I just was I look in the mirror. If it didn't look good, I'd be late for school almost.
Okay.
Whatever style was in at that time. Anyway, he hands me the application. He goes, "Just take it with you. You should be in this school." Drove her home, and of course, it wasn't too keen at the dinner table. You know, my brother's like, you know what the hell, you're not going to no beauty school. You're going to be doing this and that. My father's just eating. He's tired. My mother's like, it's a good, you know. My mother's talking to me in a time. What do you think of dinner? Anyway, I filled out the application, just mailed it in. Because my father was a shoemaker and didn't make much money, and my mother was a seamstress, didn't make much money, I got a government grant. They paid for it.
Okay. Wow.
State of New York. Now, I got into it not 100%, but 104%. So I took the buses to the Port Authority, and from the Port Authority, I would walk to beauty school every day.
Can you repeat that again? You went from 100%, not 100%, but 104%.
Yeah,
I love
there's
it.
no, forget about 100.
I love it.
So I didn't know I was going to be really good in beauty school. I liked it so much that I doubled up the shifts. So I would go from 8 in the morning to 4. And then they have class from 6 to 9. I went to chock full of nuts in New York City, had a cup of coffee, a burger, and went to the night school. So I just wanted to not get out of there, but get out and get into the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So from beauty school, I decided to stay in New York City. Live my mom and dad. Look, my mother was ironing my underwear and making me meatball parmesan sandwich. There was no way I was
It sounds like
moving.
a Greek mom.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Mom's like that. No way I was moving. But I worked in New York City at a great company, and I had met an actress in New York City because I was doing hair for magazines. In other words, it would be for, let's say, Glamour magazine, Mademoiselle, whatever. It would have the model, and on the credits, it would say hair by Giuseppe for Jean-Louis David at Henry Bendel's. That's where I worked in New York City.
I bet I know who it was. I did my homework.
Yes, you
the
do.
Actress.
She was a very big actress. She still is, but she just decided not to work. And we became really tight. Krista McNichol.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my
Yep.
my way out of Jersey and New York City. I didn't quit, though, New York City, yet. It was, we did a 3-day shoot for a magazine, and we became friends in 3 days. And I brought her to Jersey on the last night from the New York City hotel, and we ate at my mom's.
Yeah.
And I still didn't speak English, my mom and dad. It's okay. I mean, Christy could feel the love, this and that. They had no idea who she is.
She was big time back then.
Very.
Big time. Yep.
But they have no clue. They watch Italian TV, and my mother watched Catholic Mass on TV. That was about it. No, we did watch Bonanza and Ed Sullivan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so I do it. I say my goodbyes. A year goes by, minimum. And I get a phone call at the salon for Jean-Louis David at New York City. And they said, there's a girl on the phone, she's crying. She won't say who she is, but she's crying. I go, look, what? I could be a disgruntled client that came in, whatever, this, boom, boom. I am now practically managing the salon. I'm going on my 50th year there. I started as a shampooer, sweeping.
Jesus.
But it was a great company.
Yeah.
Great. So it happened to be Krista McNichol on the other line. She's crying. She's in the middle of making a movie with Tatum O'Neal and Matt Dillon called Little Darlings in Madison, Georgia. But anyway, she decided to get a perm from the hairdresser over the weekend. And I guess the hairdresser burnt and made it. She kept saying, look, it's continuity. I'm like, what is continuity?
Oh, yeah, in the movies,
It has to match. It's in the middle of the movie. She goes, you need to come here and fix it, please, baby. I said, look, I can't do it unless it's my day off. There's no way that my boss is going to let me go. He lives in France anyway, my boss. So I go down to Madison, Georgia. She flies me out, and I bring a conditioning specialist with me. He mixed some avocados, egg yolk. He brought his own blender where he's walking through the airport. I'm like, very French, but very good at what he does. We get to like a motel type of thing, not even like a hotel, in the middle of nowhere. That's where they're staying, the crew. Population like 13 people in this place. I look at it, and we hug. I look at it, and I tell the guy, Yannick, go put the conditioner on. We leave it on for like 3 hours. And he blow dries it for heat. And I mean, just to get it soft again. I have no idea what I'm going to do because I kept thinking of this stupid word continuity. She's like, I'll get in big trouble if it's not in this script that my hair's over. Anyway, rinse the conditioner out, and then my Hail Mary start coming out under my breath. And my Father, please, God, let me do the right thing, please. And I trimmed very little, the ends. I remember because it's got to match. It can't go short. And then I dried it really nice, really smooth, because she showed me a picture of what it looked like 3 days earlier. She goes, oh, my God, I love it better than my original. I go, I'm glad. This is about going into 7 hours. We're going to leave that night. I got to go to work the next day. So we're saying our goodbye. She goes, what do I owe you? I go, it's my gift. Love you. Hope to see you soon. Take care. Don't fuck with the hair anymore. And left. Went back to New York. I'm at work the next day. I get a phone call. It's her. I go, what happened? She goes, you need to come and finish the movie. This girl doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know how to play. I go, I can't do that. I am a assistant manager here practically. She goes, no, I'll pay you this. And she offered like $250. I went, I'll call you right back.
Out of there.
Well, I was making like $63 a week. But I'm living with mom and dad. You know, check. I enjoyed it very much. So I happened to call the boss in France, Jean-Louis David. I said, look, there's an opportunity, Jean-Louis, for us, and just instead of magazines, maybe I can finish this hair on this movie, and you can keep the money. It's $250. You keep it, and you can get the credit for, Giuseppe, for Jean-Louis David. I go, are you there? He hung up on me.
But someone who needed the money at the time, I mean, that was
I offered it to him. Well, I had loyalty.
There you go.
Well, he told me everything. Look, I was a Guido. I'm still am. But I mean, without the platform shoes and, the gold chains. Anyway, I called her up and I said, look, there's no way I can do it. He's not happy. She says, look, I'll offer you, I think she said something like $500. Oh, I'm calling you right back. I called France again. He hung up on me.
God.
So my mother told me in Italian, go. So I quit.
And that was
I went to Georgia. And then worked with her for about 5 years on all different locations and movies. She was a very big part of my life on why I'm out here.
So was that around the time that you met Mickey Rourke also?
So you got certain people that are very important in my life besides, the good Lord above what I wouldn't even be here. Is you got Krista McNichol, that order. Mickey Rourke, Schwarzenegger. And then you got Stallone. And the rest of the guys are all there. But, I mean, these are, especially Arnold and Mickey. Mickey's like a brother. Forget about friendship. We used to live together. And Arnold would be like my best friend.
Right. So I saw another interview. You said that Mickey Ortiz is kind of your business partner, and Arnold is your kind of advisor. Business advisor. So talk about that relationship. How did that relationship with Arnold develop, and why has he been so important to you?
Well, even though when Arnold was bodybuilding, winning every title in the world, he was educating himself. I'm pretty sure it was from Santa Monica City College as well as one of them.
Right.
I mean, he's got all these certificates in his office. I mean, the guy's a genius in financing, business. People just thought he was, Terminator.
Yeah.
Look, the guy became governor. You got to be doing something right. So anyway, I wouldn't ask him complicated questions on like stocks. I didn't know any of that. I go, what do you think if I expand and make a little bigger salon? And he goes, Giuseppe, right now, I don't know if it's the fucking time to do it. I go, you think so? And I went ahead and did it anyway.
Why?
It felt comfortable, like, do it now. And then he congratulated me. Like a month later, all I had was a sign, coming this summer, expansion of Giuseppe Franco. And I go, turn around, look. He was going to Cafe Roma.
Yep.
And it was on the way there. He goes, ballsy, very good, Giuseppe. And he put his arm around me. But usually, everything else, yeah, of course. But I don't talk about monies, and I don't invest. And you know what? We keep it friendship more. Like I'll go to his house and cook, and we just laugh and watch UFC fighting.
Yeah.
And so it's that kind of comfort. It's usually not business related. None of them.
So that risk that you took to go ahead and expand,
Yeah.
was there any kind of trepidation before? Were you kind of thinking, what if this doesn't work out?
The whole idea is you always got to almost have is a plan B, but I just don't let people know I got a plan B. Because I'm not a thinker like, this could go, this is going to get fucked up, this might not work, oh my God. I go, this is going to fucking work.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it work. I got a great name, I'm just going to work harder and blah, blah, blah. So I take the negativity and I put it somewhere in the back of my mind, if it's even in my mind. Is there a possibility it might not work? Hell yeah. I just don't think about it.
Yeah, you can't think that way.
No. I mean, you got to be realistic. It may not happen.
So you didn't have any investors, I read, right?
Never
no
had
investors. That's what's intriguing. You're in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
So how did you make that work with no investors?
American Express. Most of it is true. What I did is whatever money I had on the side that I made, I would send my mother on the majority of it in New Jersey. And then I bought her a Harley Davidson. I liked to wine and dine the girls at that time. And the rest just put away for maybe an expansion, but I never really put much away. So kind of established credit,
Yeah.
Or borrowed money, paid it off. But there's certainly no investors and no partners.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not one keen on, somebody saying, well, Giuseppe, you spent over $102 on toilet paper and $200 on coffee. I'm going to go, look, douchebag, I want the best toilet paper and the best coffee whatever I get for my house, I get for the salon.
Okay.
Just the way I am.
So so in Beverly Hills, it can't be easy to start a business. So I'm sure you probably have people coming up to you saying, hey, Giuseppe, I'm going to start a business. What's the one thing you caution them about? Salons or regular business, whatever.
Okay, let's say salon. It ain't just a coffee machine and a stereo. You got to eat shit, sleep your business.
Yeah.
And you got to take control. There's got to be leadership in anything. I mean, that's why there's bosses. I don't know about, co-chairman and chairman and co-chairman. Somebody's got to call the shots. Otherwise, people walk along and just think they can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Unless
you're self-employed, then, hey, I wish you luck. The thing is, you got to really eat, shit, sleep the business, period. Especially this day and age, but in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, and location. If you're going to open up a hair salon next to a mobile gas station, you're pretty much fucked. You get my point?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So you got to do your homework with that stuff.
So what's the number one reason that businesses fail out there?
Where?
In Beverly Hills, or even Los
anywhere.
Angeles? In your experience that you've seen,
too much, too soon, or I mean, I've seen people open up restaurants or hair salons, twice the size of mine. Daddy had money and he got him and her salon, these people. But the thing is, I'd rather start small, like a restaurant. If you see a small restaurant and every table is packed and there's a few people waiting outside, and then you look across the street and there's like 57 tables there, chandeliers, but there's nobody eating, I'd rather go to the smaller one.
Right.
So the smaller one says, "Oh, Giuseppe, I got a problem. I have to make it bigger." That's not a problem to expand. That's a good thing.
Yep.
But, not having people in a restaurant is also, a huge restaurant chandelier don't mean shit. You need people to eat in order to...
Yeah, so more substance than flash.
Yeah, it's always good to start off small. Look,
Yeah.
there's no shortcuts as far as I'm concerned. Unless you hit the lotto or you were born... in Connecticut and you're John Riley III and shit like that. There is no shortcuts.
Yeah.
No, you put your time in, pray to God and everything else that it comes back to you.
So I think going back to our families, our immigrant families, they didn't know anything about shortcuts back then.
No.
There's nothing. There was nothing like how you see on social media, all these life hacks and all these shortcuts.
I don't know much about social media at all. My daughter is an expert at it.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to check an Instagram, so my staff will show me. I know how to email, press send. The thing is, I don't even know how to type, so I talk everything into my. Then I look, is the curse words there? Yes, press send.
Well, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest problem I see is that people aren't willing to do the work. Like I said, they go and they look for all these shortcuts and these hacks, and they're failing. So, I think the work ethic from, say, 20, 30 years ago, even beyond that, has changed. It's gone.
I don't want to say gone, but gone. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially during the stupid closures from the COVID closures from the government.
Yeah, talk about that. How did that affect you?
Oh, terribly. I never been unemployed in my life. My first time. I stuck to my routine mentally. So I unlocked the doors for 40 years, 37 years, because of the COVID was 3 years ago, at exactly 5:40 a.m. I did it again. I put all the lights on. It looked like Dodger Stadium. I blasted the stereo and opened up all the doors. And essential people would walk by. They walk by every day. They're nurses, doctors, the only people going to work.
Right.
They're like, "Giuseppe, you open?" I go, "Hell no, the governor locked me down." They go, "What are you doing? You got your lights on?" I go, "I'm doing it because that's what works for me mentally."
Took the words right out of my mouth.
And that's what worked.
Took the words right out of
So
my
I
mouth.
did it every single day. I cleaned, recleaned, cleaned again. Cleaned again and cleaned again. So I know my salon phone ain't ringing, but my cell phone rings, and I hear a lady going, "Giuseppe Franco?" "Yes." I go, "Yeah." "This is Brenda with Eyewitness News." I go, "All right, very funny. I don't have time for jokes." And I clicked and I hung up. I thought it was Richie Mulberry Street.
Yeah.
Playing a joke on me with some woman doing
Right.
it. Because he could see me across the street.
Right,
He's
yeah.
open. He's essential. He's food. My phone rings right back. "I'm sorry, I think we got disconnected." I go, "Oh, shit, that was me." She goes, "This is Brenda, Eyewitness News." I go, "How did you get my number?" She goes, "One of your salon clients works for Channel 7 News." I go, "Okay." She goes, "We understand that you get to the salon every day at 6 a.m. I go, "Brenda, that would be wrong. I get here at 5:40. She started laughing. She goes, "Can we come and interview you?" I go, "Sure. Hey, you know where to find me?" She goes, "Yeah." 3 hours later, the big van with the antenna on, Eyewitness News. And she gets, I'm outside my salon having a cigarette. Doors are open, music is on. She gets out of the front seat. I go, "Wait, I know you." She's a reporter. And a cameraman gets out with this big camera. "Can we interview right here?" I go, No. We're going to interview me inside my salon. You're going to get my name behind me. Brenda, you can stand 87 feet away. We all wear masks.
No, absolutely, yeah.
But I'm going to take mine off so you can hear me clearly and you know it's me. So go ahead. She goes, "Well, you've done this before." I go, "Yes." So she goes, "Well, we understand you get here before 6 a.m. every day." "Why?" I go, and now I'm making this shit up as I go along.
Mm-hmm.
I go, you know what, Brenda? Because for me, it works mentally. The thing is, this is pretty bad what's going on outside. You see 4 lease, closed up, boarded up, all gone. And people are going to lose money. I'm closed. People are going to lose money.
As well as their minds, too. They're losing their minds back then.
And so I said, people are going to lose money. But let me tell you something, Brenda. If you lose your mind, that's going to be a tough recovery.
Yeah.
Because it's never about the fall. It's about how you get up and recover, if you do.
Yeah.
So she goes, oh, wow. Yeah, because if you lose your mind, you don't really give a shit about money anymore. You lost your mind.
Yeah.
Because that was a tough one. 8 months closed, and then they opened, then 3 months closed, and then 2 months. So the whole thing is, I did what I always did. 6 o'clock before 6, cleaning, do whatever, 3 times. But I've seen people lose their minds. And some of them were my clients. Some of them were my staff. You know, tough.
So as optimistic as you are all the time and positive, do you ever have those, especially in that time, do you ever have those days where you're just kind of like, oh, I just can't do it today?
Yeah, a lot. I mean,
Give an example.
Life,
Give an example.
I just fake it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
You can't show anybody.
Whatever shit I got going on in my head, by 5:41 a.m. when I open up that salon, I become Giuseppe Franco.
Mm-hmm.
Got to, because whatever I do, it'll fall on the stylist, the assistants, the clients will feel the bad, not bad, negative energy. Excuse me.
So when it comes to, let's talk about business sustainability for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I think of underdogs, and I think of people who, have been handed the keys to the Ferrari, so to speak, right? Having to work for it. When I met you first time, I remember it was 2017. My Astros just won the World Series. Had my Astros hat on, and I saw you because I'd seen you on YouTube hanging out, with all the guys and everything. It's like, oh, let me eat in Cafe Roma. So I see, oh, there's the guy. I didn't know you yet. Went and talked to you, and obviously you were so kind, so nice, never forgot it.
But that's good to know.
But you noticed my hat. You noticed my hat, my Astros hat.
Okay.
And you said, congratulations. I always root for the underdog.
Always.
Talk about why the underdog.
I do it in football, basketball, baseball, normal life. It's nice when, the person that's never got a shot, a boxer, let's say hypothetically, let's say it's a 10-round fight, and for 9 rounds, he's getting the shit beat out of him. Barely one eye is open, nosebleed, and the corner guy says, look, don't even go out the next round. It's no, let me do it. And he goes out and he knocks him out. That's the underdog. I like that.
Yeah.
I like those stories. Giving the little guy a shot out of it. Look, there's always going to be somebody on top. You just got to be nice to the people that helped you up there.
Yeah.
Because eventually that's going to come down. It's going to be somebody else's turn. But I like the underdog stories.
So in your experience, when it comes to sustainability, who has the better sustainability, the underdog or the business person who's been handed, like I said, the keys? Who
A set of keys
lasts?
could go either way. I mean, you can get a set of keys. See, the whole thing is, it's good to open up a business, but can you stay open for at least 11 years? If you could do that, then I give you some, not that I wouldn't give you respect,
Right.
but I call them cup of coffees. Businesses in, out, no matter hair salons or restaurants, and getting the keys without knowing how a dishwasher works, how a sous chef works, how the whole restaurant business, from the maitre d' how to greet people, you can have a set of keys with chandeliers. That place ain't lasting.
Yeah.
No. You need to know something about, everybody has a gift, Tommy. The whole idea is everybody's born with a gift. Even if you said, I make the best peanut butter muffins. You better be the best at it. Mm-hmm. And enjoy it if you do that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's people that don't know. Look, I got clients that are maybe 33, 34 years old, very rich family. The 33-year-old is the son.
Right.
He went to acting school. That didn't work. Went to culinary school. That didn't work. Went to music school. He didn't find his forte. But he doesn't have to work. But it's, you see, if you know what you want to do, no matter how crazy it is, off the wall people, if you do what you really want to do. One, you're going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Two, eventually you're going to make money.
Right.
Three, hopefully fame will go with it. It's just that if you don't know what you want to do by, I guess, 22, 23 years old, you might have a problem.
Yeah.
I think it's, look, whatever dream people have, they should go. Everybody has a talent. They just got to know what it is. And the earlier you know, the better. Like I say, you don't want to be the 34-and-a-half-year-old like, what do I do now for a craft, for a business, for this, that? You know, the dream, whatever your dream is. I don't give a shit what it is. You're fucked when you don't have a dream. What do you want to do? I don't care. It's always good to have a dream.
So how many dreamers do you know who don't put that dream into action and it just stays there?
A lot. And a lot of my clients, believe it or not, cancel their therapy appointment after me. I go, all right, go ahead. I tell her like it is. That's all.
Yeah.
Without medication. She goes, my therapist didn't even. I'm canceling him. Thank you for the advice. Yeah. The thing is, what was the question?
The question was about. I already forgot the question. So I'm sorry because I'm just mesmerized listening to you talk. No, but, we're talking about the dreamers. Excuse me.
Oh, the dreamers. Yeah. No, you need to have some sort of dream, and if you do have your dream, and you don't go towards it, that's when I guess people go to therapy for the rest of their lives. And why didn't I do that when I had that? Yeah, I got a client, still comes to me, would sit in my chair. This is before the COVID, stupid closures things, and she plop up. I'm so glad I'm here. Oh, I hate my life. I hate my job. Giuseppe, I hate my life. I'm like, Angel, let's get her a glass of wine. Every month and 2 months, she would come in, same exact routine. I think I was in one of my moods. This is going on for like 2 years now. Figure every 2 months.
Yeah.
So quite I hate my life. I hate my job. I'm like, this time I didn't say, Angel, give her a glass of wine. I was in a fucked up mood.
Yeah.
For some reason.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, I just remember saying, what is it you do that you hate so much? I never asked her before, kind of thing. She goes, I work for 4 lawyers in Century City. I park in the same place. I sit at the same desk. I go, stop. What is it you want to do? She goes, I go, no, tell me. She goes, no, it's crazy. I go, tell me, what do you want to do to make you happy? She goes, I want to work with horses, groom them, and walk them and stay. I go, are you married? She goes, no. I go, you got kids? She goes, no. I go, get the fuck out of your job. Go work. Take a pay cut. I don't know if you're going to make, whatever it is, you might not make as much as you're doing in Century City, but you'll whistle to work. Go work with your horses and stop worrying about the extra $42 you're going to miss on a wheel, whatever the case is, because you're really unhappy. She didn't cry. She didn't say much. I got her hair. So 2 months goes by. Comes back. She's riding boots. I knew she went. She went with the horses.
Good for her.
Why not?
She was happier.
Life's too short. So no matter what dream it is, you got to have some sort of idea. I'm not saying when you're 13 years old, but you got to know in what direction you want to go in.
Right. Well, it's kind of what Arnold talks about, having the vision. And
he told me a lot of that. If you can, Giuseppe, if you don't vision it, you cannot do it. I went, interesting. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me that.
And it's true.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
100% true. What I want to talk about real quick is your culture at your salon. So every time that I go there, I'm greeted by not just one person, but a lot of people.
That's
smiles
good.
in their faces.
Better be.
Hi. He's going to see this. So, no, I mean, smiles in the faces, either employees just passing through or even from their stations, they greet you. You walk in the door, there's a big smile. They look at you, look you in the eye, and talk about, and they're just so happy working, you can tell. Everybody's happy. So talk about that culture that you build. Why is the culture so important?
Well, first of all, I'm not saying egotistically, but It starts from me, obviously.
Yeah.
No, coming in, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I joke with them. You know, I treat them like co-workers as opposed to employee, employer.
Right.
Don't you fucking forget it.
Right.
I played that. A lot of them been there. So I caused a happy environment, the music, whatever, playing with clients, the stylist. So the day not just go smooth, but that's me anyway.
Yeah.
And it rubs off onto them. Look, if you got a miserable, as we say in Italian, a miserable boss or whatever, always yelling this and that, number one, your employees ain't going to last. But number two, they're going to be, you know, like that. And if they have their own place, they're going to, hopefully it won't run it like the guy, you know, yelling and whatever. But it's important. Look, it's a hair salon. It's supposed to be happy. A lot of clients, not most, already have, I'm not because the Rolls Royce didn't start, but a lot of them have personal problems. They go to therapy or whatever the case is. So does my staff, but I'm just saying in general, when they come in, they want to talk to the stud. They want to tell them that their husband's fucking cheating on them, you know? Meaning whatever the case is, you know?
Yeah.
And the hairdresser's got to be a list. It's more like therapy with hair, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you want to, my whole thing is to make a client, and no, movie stars are not my favorite clients. Actually, not my least. But the mother with 5 kids and 2 jobs is my favorite client.
Yeah.
You know, I pamper her to feel like a movie star. And the whole thing is they're making the client feel good when they leave there, besides looking good. You know, so I go with high energy and positive and fun.
And I know that from experience. Every time I leave his salon, I'm happy. I'm better for it. I'm smiling because you feel good because of how you're treated there.
Absolutely.
It's just, I mean, I've never had service that I've been in a lot of, even back home, been in a lot of salons. But I mean, yours, of course, there's just no comparison because, and it's the service. It's the service. It's an experience, right? And it's hard to find that because when you want to look good, and you go somewhere to make that happen, you want it to be experienced. You want to feel confident and good when you walk out.
Well, I've always, still do, train. First thing I always tell them, since they're young assistants, up to even hairdressers have been with a long time, don't talk fucking sex, don't talk politics, and don't talk religion. It's bad. But the client always brings it up, so it's kind of, you try to get off of it, but...
We've talked relationships, but we won't get into that. We'll save that.
No, that's fine. That's what people do. But, I train the assistants to be in a happy mode, greet people. And, and we train them how to do hair. I mean, it's a long investment, but they stay loyal, for a long time. And then some of them, look, there's about at least 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stylists that have their own salons now. Chicago, one's in, I don't know if in Milwaukee, Texas, or San Diego. And they still call me and say, you know what, thanks for doing what you did to me, yelling at me this. I run my salon the way exactly like you do. I actually clean the window like you do all the time. Look, how many business owners are going to move the chair straight like you said you've seen?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it, but I do it because it's a...
Oh, they'll wait for someone else to do it, when the employees to do it.
Might as well. I'm right there. It's got to be done. Sometimes things are just quicker if I do it,
Yeah. You were on a show called Stylist Star some years ago, right? I saw it on YouTube, right?
Uh-huh.
And I remember one episode, there was a young lady who came in looking for a job. You remember? This girl, she came in, but you had a little conversation with her.
Okay.
And she ended up coming back because I'm not sure if she fit, I guess kind of what you were looking for at the time in that moment. But she came back and she was like a whole new person.
I probably said something like,
and she showed the commitment,
I'll talk to you, but I've said it to guys too. One guy came in with like surfer shorts, flip flops, Mickey Mouse shirts, something stupid. Not that Mickey Mouse shorts stupid, but you can't apply for a job like that in Beverly Hills.
Yep.
So when they said, Giuseppe, this gentleman he'd like to talk to you about an application, I just went, what's your name? Biff. Biff, do yourself a favor. Where do you live? He goes, Santa Monica. I go, I'll give you 3 hours. Go home, get changed, dress like a proper gentleman for a Beverly Hills salon. Or even better, You should apply at the local salon in Venice because that's how they probably dress, but this ain't gonna work. Oh, he fucking came back in like an hour and a half, dressed.
Yeah.
So I hired him.
Yeah.
Well, he respected what I told him, so I probably did it with the girl in a nice way. It's
In a-
not because
yeah.
it's Beverly Hills. It's because, you know what, my game, my rules.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do your own rules, open up your own business, and do what you want to do. But that's the way I do things.
Yeah. Well, as it should be. As it should
And
be.
Sly used to say, hey, Giuseppe, my way or the highway. All right.
So obviously people, they come to LA, they come to Hollywood, they want to make it entertainment, whatever it is, fashion, music. How important, Giuseppe, is it now to still live in LA as opposed to, 20, 30, 40 years ago when you didn't have technology, you didn't have, ways to communicate online, all that stuff. You have meetings now. It is still as important to be here as it was
To do
before.
what?
To make an entertainment, be an actor,
Yeah,
but
no.
it's still, you still got to be here.
Of course. Nobody gives a shit about Switzerland and fucking Germany and Italy and New Jersey. About 2-3 summers ago, recent, I could see from my mirror, where I cut your hair, I could see behind me.
Yeah.
It's about 6, 7 guys, men. And I never seen any of them. Met them. And one of them walks right up to me and goes, Giuseppe. I go, yeah. I go, where are you guys from? They go, we're from Germany. I go, what's up? They go, we want to introduce you to the Brad Pitt of Germany, please.
That should be interesting.
I go, okay. He's in the middle of a circle with all these handlers, assistants. So my client knows me. He's laughing. He goes, go ahead, Giuseppe, go. So I go 2 feet right there, and I go, and the circle opens up, and this guy's better fucking looking than Brad. And I know Brad.
Really?
No, the guy's stunning. And speaks good English. And one's talking after another. Giuseppe, he is the Brad Pitt of Germany. He is the man in Germany. I go, no disrespect, guys, but who gives a shit about Germany? I don't know if they like that. I go, look, your Brad Pitt guy right here, if he makes it in Hollywood, you make it anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Shit, if you make it in Hollywood, you can live in a cave underwater. You will get a script FedEx to you. If you're
Right.
if you're up there, like De Niro, they'll find you. The thing is, yes, Hollywood for this industry, and if you don't plan on being in this industry, I mean, you come out, the weather's beautiful, but hell yeah, you can't be an actor in Washington. Nobody gives a shit. Well, you could be a soap opera actor in New
Yeah.
York. That's all good, too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But Hollywood, this is Hollywood. This is where, not movies are made, this is Hollywood where you meet and bullshit people. People bullshit you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The agents, the managers, the boom, bing, bang. And then when you make it big, you buy your little white picket fence house somewhere where you grew up in Indiana, as your second home. Oh, even your main home.
Yeah.
They'll know where to find you. But to make it, yeah, I would think the auditions are here,
Yeah, well, because now, they're doing all taped auditions now. The face-to-face
I heard.
audition
Yeah,
is kind
I
of
know. My daughter does
leveling out. Yeah.
Sure, my daughter's with Ford Agency Modeling, and she also does try to get into the acting. But her success is her food network, Eats by Creature.
Eats by Creature, yeah, which you can follow on Instagram, Eats by Creature.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And, she started all that by herself. I said, let me help you. I got connections. Papa, no, I'm going to do it. Let me do this. Papa, no. She's stubborn. Now, remember, she's half Italian, half Icelandic. The wife is from Iceland.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, look, thank God, this town is fucking poison. It's Hollywood. I just feel bad for the people. No, they have a dream to come out, but they also got to have a job, do jobs, whatever. But people do that on Broadway.
Right.
They get a part. I mean, you got to put your time in. You got to go do your auditions. You got to take pictures. You got to play the whole game.
So will you take someone working for you who's just there just to have a job because they're trying to make it, or do you want someone who's going to be committed to your
Times have
business
changed,
working?
but I like the committed. That's why you take them young at a beauty school.
Yeah.
Don't matter because my salon, I have gay, I have straight, I have lesbians, I got black, I got Asian, I got Chinese, I got them all. But my game, my rules, I like it. It's not a fucking bank.
Right.
It's what makes my salon fun.
Yep.
It's a mixture of everything. But I like to take kids out of beauty school and I break them down and I remold them. Mm-hmm. It takes about a year and change.
Okay.
You know? And then they stay loyal for a good 9, 10, 13, 16 years, which is good enough for me. Look, I got people who've been with me 39 years, 38, 37. The only new people are really the assistants. People, I let them make money. We have a great, high-energy, fun salon.
Absolutely you do, yep.
So, and there's movie stars rolling around there, as people call movie star actors, any given day,
Yeah.
hanging out. So, but I like that. I mean, look, let's be honest, celebrities sell. If this guy's visiting and his wife's getting a haircut and she sees, Schwartz and he goes to the salon, the first thing they do is like, oh my God, guess who's in the salon sitting next to me? All good.
Good for you.
Yeah.
It's good for you, yeah.
Great promotion.
So when you hire somebody, what are you looking for exactly? To come work for Giuseppe Salon?
Well, I'm pretty crazy with the interview, so they come in and fill an application out, I guess. I don't know that, they were coming. So they fill an application, and then I would tell Anita, the desk girl, to tell them, meet me for an interview at 6. Mm-hmm. Now, she knows that I mean 6 a.m. That applicant does not. Mm-hmm. So as they're walking out, they turn around. I can hear it. They go to Anita, you mean 6 p.m.? She goes, oh, no, darling, 6 a.m.
Anita, yeah.
And if they show up at 6 a.m., half of the job is done. Meaning they brush their teeth, they comb their hair, they got a little perfume, cologne. Because if you can show your ass up at 6, not many, look, anybody can go to an interview at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. A fucking alcoholic can go there at 2. I don't mean nothing against it, but who does interviews at 2 p.m.? Yeah. I want to see how you like at 6 a.m.
That's, I never thought about it. That's a really, really good point. Because every interview I've been to, it seems like they always want to see you like in the afternoon or something.
You don't have to do 6 a.m.
After lunch or whatever.
Even, look, you do 7:15, 7 a.m. I'm always a.m.
Yeah, yeah.
And if this person took their time, parked properly, and looked good, because that's a business we're in,
Mm-hmm.
look, half of the job is done.
Yeah.
And I tell them there is no shortcuts here. You're gonna really work hard, and you're gonna curse me out probably for a year and change, but it's my way or the highway. I
That's
tell
it.
them. Yeah. I said there is no compromising here.
Something else you said before, you have a low tolerance, it seems, of people who make repeated mistakes.
I can handle somebody almost cutting a piece of an ear off a client. I don't mean that they did,
right?
Because I can go fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no doubt. Nobody will ever know. It's just an example. I can't tolerate fucking stupidity. See, if you go in the yard, and the pit bull bites you, that's a fucking, that hurt.
Yeah.
But if you go in the same yard and the same pit bull bites you, it's pretty fucking stupid. You already know. Yeah. And that's what I see in a lot of, not my staff, in the whole world. Mm-hmm. I got doctors and lawyers that could read law school books backwards and memorize it.
Yeah.
But they got no street sense, common sense, I call it. It's street sense.
Mm-hmm.
I was blessed with that. I can't read a law, a medical book and memorize it.
Who can, really?
Yeah. But I'd rather have the street common sense.
Yeah.
Well, I got no choice. That's what God dealt to me, you
Yeah.
know?
So you have a nickname. It's a famous nickname, the Boss of Beverly Hills.
I didn't give that to me, but yes.
Where did that come? What's the origin of that? Where did that come from?
Some English guy, I guess. He had come in. Had a little briefcase, but it looked like a laptop case, but whatever. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I'm looking for Giuseppe. And I hear him, I go, it's Giuseppe. I said, where are you from, Australia? He goes, no, mate, I'm from England. I go, what are you selling?
Yeah.
He goes, well, how do you know I'm selling? I go, whatever you sell, I'm not interested. There's no fucking way I'm giving you for 2 cents. But what are you selling? He started laughing. He opens up the case and he takes out this magazine. He goes, ads for this. This is my magazine. We're in every Peninsula hotel. And we're in every Four Seasons hotel, in rooms, lobby, whatever. It's his magazine. We wind up becoming friends within 32 minutes because as I'm talking to him right by the salon, I go, look, mate, there's no way. I've been here too long. I'm not going to advertise. Why don't you give me something for free, like a fucking great story interview? He goes, are you kidding? I said, no, I'm serious. I said, I'm fucking famous. He goes, why are you famous? I go, who walks in, I swear to God? Stallone?
Right.
He stopped talking. Actually, Sly took a picture with him.
What timing?
He
Wow.
freaked. He goes, Mr. Stallone, can I take? And Sly took a picture with him. And I go, look, brother, I got to go. I did Sly's hair upstairs.
Yeah.
He came back the next day. The guy. He was staying at the Peninsula. He lives in London now. Because we want to do a story on you. And I didn't pay for anything. I don't know how he came up with the boss of Beverly Hills. I guess during the interview, people coming up to me saying, hi, Mickey walked by, Giuseppe. It's like, you're the boss of the fucking Beverly Hills. I go, I like that.
It's stuck.
Who cares?
I love it. Well, as we wrap up, I have a couple more questions real fast.
Yes, sir.
So you are very charitable, from what I understand, and you started something called Giuseppe Franco Cares, I read about. Is that correct?
Correct.
Talk about that.
Didn't work out too well.
Okay.
It wasn't me. It was a peer. Wanted to donate haircuts and colors to the nurses who dealt with the hospitals, firemen, policemen, anybody that went over and out for us that worked during the COVID, like when the hospitals were bad.
Right.
And they would call in. Somebody would call me, look, I want this guy Tommy. He was teaching all the time and this and that, but we should have him come. I go, sure. And then they would call the salon. The thing is, they call the salon, but they never showed up for their appointments.
Yeah.
And not on purpose. It was for free anyway. You know, they wanted like on a Saturday midnight, one of these. I go, no, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. But I still do when it's available, is kids with cancer.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, talk about that. I love
Battered
that.
woman. That's called Passage. The kids was called Lollipop. Mattel, the toy maker, was behind it. I guess they all stopped it. Meaning for now, because of the COVID, we couldn't even be 6 feet with each other. Never mind going into a hospital.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know, they wouldn't even let your significant other in the hospital if you were sick.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Crazy
that's true.
shit.
I also heard that you've got a documentary coming out that you're working on.
You really good
Told
homework.
Told you.
I didn't even know that. I signed with a company, great company that is called Unrealistic Ideas.
Yep.
It's Mark Wahlberg's company.
Absolutely.
With partners.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do that I know Mark. It's just they find the story interesting how an Italian Catholic Guido from Jersey ends up in Beverly Hills and is best friends with these fucking actors and everything else in between, of course. You know, the ups and downs and how you lasted 41 years and you're best friends with, some of the stars. And that there's a soft side to him where he hangs out. It's like father and daughter. We do father and daughter trip, sometimes, most of the time on Sundays. And they find that fascinating because they think I'm all business.
Right.
So they're taking me out of that element of the salon certain days, you know.
Okay.
And the rest is the way they want it. Look, if a director directs and a producer produces and a lighting guy does the lighting, everybody's married to it, that'll work.
Yeah.
It's when the actor goes, that's my bad side, change the fucking screen and the lens, things get complicated.
Right.
So whatever they want to go with.
So you've been in Beverly Hills for over 40 years.
Correct.
We're going to kind of end on this.
Uh-huh.
What keeps you hungry still after all these years?
A good filet mignon, just, no. I got no choice. Whatever money I had for emergency saved to maybe buy a condo in Hawaii, went into my business because of the COVID.
Yeah.
Paying back rent, whatever it is. Look, I'm a man of my word. If I shake your hand, say I'm going to meet you at 6 p.m., guarantee at 5:59 even, I'll be right where I told you I would be. I'm old school like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to act. I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to play music. All I know is what I have. That guy gave me those salons in
Right.
Beverly Hills. Maybe the documentary, they want to lead it into a book. I wish I could expand. I wish that people would open up Giuseppe Franco, their money, by the name. But I would actually go
Franchise.
there. Franchise.
Yeah.
But I would go there from the beginning until the opening, show them how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, how to buy furniture made in America. I mean, I got contacts, so I use them. And, how to run a salon.
Yeah.
If you can't afford, roses, just don't get a silk fake tree, get an orchid. They last fucking, little things.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
People love Beverly Hills. If you can bring Beverly Hills to Nebraska, that is not a bad thing.
Right.
Everybody wants a taste of Hollywood. Everybody wants to be what the movie stars go. So if they can't come, we can bring it there, I guess.
You know what? I think that's a perfect way to wrap up this episode. Got a
Tommy?
gift for you.
You're the best.
You're,
Thank you. You didn't have to
you're
do
the
that.
best. I love you for doing this. You're wonderful, Anita, who I love. She's been wonderful. She told me,
funny.
little birdie told me, that you wanted this.
Oh,
you did not
thank
have
you.
this. So go and take a look. She said this is what you wanted.
Sauvage, my favorite.
You know what you wanted? That's what she said.
Oh,
She said you wanted it
yes.
for Christmas. You didn't get it. Well, Merry Christmas.
That is great.
Merry Christmas.
Tommy, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah,
I will.
absolutely.
I want to thank everybody.
Yes,
Next time I'll see you for the hair, and we can always do this again.
absolutely. I think let's put a huge bow on this episode. This now you see why I wanted to have them on. I told you, buckle up. I told you what you're going to get: insight, entertainment, and this is everything I expected and more. Everything I expected and more.
I got to give my friend Dustin a shout. Who's going to be the next fucking Andrew Dice Clay? Dustin.
Well, I want to thank the crew here at Melrose Podcast, special engineer Justin today. Thank you, my friend Justin. As always, thank you to my listeners. Tell your friends and family all about the Deep Dishing Podcast. You like that name, Deep Dishing?
Yeah.
And give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Plan A Creations. Once again, a huge thank you to my guy, Giuseppe Franco.
Tommy, thank you, brother.
Love you, brother. Love you.
Thank you, guys, for listening and watching.
Follow him on Instagram, Giuseppe Franco Salon, GiuseppeFrancoSalon.com. Go see him, call the salon, get taken care of. I promise you will walk out with a smile. Your day will be better for it. In the words of Giuseppe Franco, more homework, love and respect.
Always.
Always.
God
Hope you come
bless.
back for another slice of the Deep Dishing Podcast. God bless.